You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome to Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Lydia Loveless. Tonight we're talking all things skincare and beauty with Lisa Walsh and her manager, Coffin. And of course, we're going to be talking about music and different programs for kids with Justin Greeley's Justin's Musical Bridge. We'll be right back after this short break. And welcome back. Today I have a very special guest with me, and I've known them for a very long time, so I'm so excited to actually have them in the studio. I have Aimee and Tom with me today. So Aimee and Tom, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Like I said, I feel like I've known you for so long, and finally getting you here and to talk about some pretty exciting things coming up. And so, you know, for those who may not know who you guys are, so tell us a little bit about yourselves.
So my name is Aimee Greeley. I am one of the co-founders and the executive director of Justin's Musical Bridge, which we're here to talk about today.
Yes.
I'm Tom. I was a bandmate and friend of Justin's, and co-founder and director with Justin's Musical Bridge, and really looking forward to moving this forward as you guys have been helping us do.
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, I've known Justin, and his impact on the community, the music community especially, has been so profound, and I'm so sorry for your loss, but it's such a nice way to honor his memory. So tell us a little bit about this foundation that you've started.
So we've started Justin's Musical Bridge in honor of Justin. Earlier this year, but it was actually last year at this point now.
Yes.
Justin unfortunately was diagnosed with colorectal cancer and passed in April. Justin was someone who always wanted to give back. He loved music, he loved the music community, and he just really wanted to support people. That's another part of his personality, is that he wanted to empower people. So actually the idea came about when he was sick. When he was sick and in the hospital, he had said that when I get back on my feet and start feeling better, I want to create a foundation to help musicians, to give back to people, and give me something positive to focus on. So unfortunately we did lose Justin in April, and between myself and some friends and bandmates, we've wanted to carry that legacy forward and honor him as best we could.
And you know, you've been doing such a great job, because seeing the impact that he's had on so many people was truly touching. And how has Justin's passion for the music industry and just for the community itself helped impact your value and your mission for this new venture?
So Justin had a very vast, exciting, fun-filled life. And I think that he would credit all of that to his involvement in music, from the skills that he learned and developed, brought him his jobs, brought him meeting people, everything that he did in music and financially and everything else brought us the life that we had. Justin saw all 7 continents of the world, and he really wanted to make sure that other people could meet their potential and have the life that he had. So that's really guided us in terms of giving back to underprivileged children that may not have the opportunities that he would have had, and to give them opportunities to develop the skills that Justin was so famous for, and that allowed him the opportunities that he had.
And like you said, so this program is actually directed to kids. And so what helped with that? And can you talk about some of the services that you will be doing?
Sure. Well, what brought us to that point of helping, it's a little known fact that the day Justin went to hospital to first We were scheduled to play at a benefit for someone that needed help at 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, he was admitted. The day Justin passed, we were also scheduled to play for another benefit at 6 o'clock. And just in that short period of time, he was signed up and signed on to help whoever he could. We had chatted at gigs and talked about people that were needing services such as what we've developed with Justin's Musical Bridge. And it was like, there's a fire in his eyes, and we knew that that's something he wanted. So what we've done is we've brought together a great team of Luke Walsh and Sabrina Cal and Rick Parsons and myself and Aimee. And,
so all-star team.
Yeah. And we've just focused on the vulnerable kids that can't afford to have music in their life. And we know what a cognitive enhancement music is. So some kids miss out on that. We wanted to be able to remove all barriers, financial and logistical, and put that opportunity in front of anyone that needs it. And so kids can come to our program with music lessons through their high school years and beyond if necessary, fully funded. It's totally anonymous. They don't know they're funded. If their parents or a caregiver or a guardian or a industry professional suggest them and applies for them, and if they're successful coming through our program, they probably would go through the entire program without ever even knowing they're in the program. Their teachers wouldn't know they're in the program, and the music school probably wouldn't know they're in the program.
And it gives, kids a sense of belonging and a hobby to turn into something, absolutely beautiful. I know for myself, music is my muse. I love playing music, and quite like yourself, I grew up in a town that didn't have those resources or parents that could as well. So, what you're doing is absolutely inspiring and so helpful. So, with music, development for children, that is so important. So is that another reason why you wanted to get into this as well?
Yeah, so my background is that I'm actually a social worker, and I work primarily with children and teenagers. So I see firsthand every single day the impact that extracurricular activities, having a supportive adult in a child's life can have. And that was something that was really important to Justin as well. He always rooted for the underdog. He wanted to empower people. When we'd travel, if we went to a small village or a school, he was always sure to donate things. So he was about the development of children and the future of not only our province but society in general. So that is how we are trying to honor that as well.
And you are doing that by launching on March 1st. It's actually my birthday, so I will definitely remember.
So there's a party for your birthday.
Yay! I'm so happy. But it's also good to see this launch. So can you tell us about what we can expect?
So we are having our official launch gala on March 1st. It's at Majestic Theatre. It seems a little silly to call it a launch right now because we're up and running for so long, and we've given out our first post-secondary scholarship already.
Oh, wow.
We have children already enrolled in the program, so we've had tremendous success. But we are launching on March 1st. So it's at the Majestic Theatre. We have the Masterless Men, Celtic Connection, Black Gold, Salt Beef Junkies, and Greeley's Reel, which is actually Justin's family, and the band that he founded 22 years ago at this point. So they're all playing for us, and John Sheen is going to be the host.
Phenomenal host.
Right? You can't get funnier or more entertaining than John.
That's true.
And special guest is Bud Davidge.
Oh,
so it's an all-star lineup.
Yes.
Great opportunity to get out. All proceeds are going back to the foundation, so it goes directly to the kids, to the children and youth of the province. So it's a great way to have a nice night out for yourself and support.
Of course, we will be, if you notice this lovely guitar.
I was just about to comment on that.
It's pretty well signed by every musician that you can think of, and there's still some more signatures to come.
Yeah.
This will be raffled beginning on March 1st, and it will be available for anyone that wants to buy a ticket to get a ticket. And this is probably, it's a one of a kind, but I don't know if it exists anywhere else. Everybody from your pub favorites to your concert favorites, and they're all there.
Wow.
And still a few more to come.
I'm just looking at just the names on already, and it's like, wow, this is so inspiring. And like I said, even the day, like I remember in April, just seeing everyone flooding through the messages and just hearing him, such a positive impact on everyone that knew him and just admired his work. So that is so lovely to see. So where can people purchase tickets or get more information from the actual program?
So we don't have all the details ironed out just yet. We're still finishing some of the finer details on the ticket sales for the guitar. We're incredibly proud of it. I keep saying that it's a piece of Newfoundland history.
Right. The guitar actually was donated.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Aimee and I were having one of the early meetings before the foundation was a thing, and we were tossing ideas around, and we were coming out of a restaurant and met a friend basically going in, and we said, "What are you doing?" And I introduced Aimee, and we chatted, and we told him the premise of what we had, the gist of it, a very infantile gist of what we were planning on doing. And he said, "Okay." And Mr. Bill did him. I don't mind name dropping. He said, "Yeah, I'll buy a guitar." And then was on our back about taking it. And so at that point, we didn't know what we needed it for.
Yeah.
But now we know what we needed it for, and Bill's been a great supporter right from day one.
Yeah, what a prize and what an honor to be able to do that. And so were there any challenges on the startup or, memorable moments that you had?
Challenges?
That comes with everything.
I have to be honest that no.
No?
No.
Wow.
It's been absolutely incredible.
The team we have around us. I mean, like I said, with Luke and Rick and Sabrina, each one of those people and ourselves, we all have our own little role. And we are a recognized non-profit organization. We're a charity, registered charity. We've gotten through all that, and our team has just been able to put us to this point because of Justin's. If you've noticed, from the celebration of life to the sing-alongs and to everything around, it was support without asking for support. Right. And the same thing with this. We've budgeted, and we hate talking numbers, but to put a youth through lessons, it's about a $1,500 a year investment. Yeah. And before we knew it, someone was like, knock, 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 here's a check for $1,500. We were at a meeting, and one of the local towns showed up with a check, said, here you go, like unsolicited, but they heard. And that's why we're calling this March 1st thing the launch, because it just generically happened, right, and has grown to this point, and we needed to have that launch. That probably should have been when we actually just started thinking it up because of the support we got. So the people that have supported us, I guess, need a launch to be able to hang their hat on, and it's for everybody. The musicians, the family, the recipients. It's for everybody. And
you're doing phenomenal. So what's one thing that you probably want our viewers to know about Justin and his legacy?
That's a very loaded question. Justin was, I think, a jack of all trades. He was successful in literally anything and everything that he put his mind to. But he was incredibly humble and quiet about it. Yes. So anything that he did to the best of his ability, which was always incredible. He did everything incredibly well.
You can see the pride and just this everything. So thank you so much. You're doing incredible things for our community and for our kids.
Thank you very much for having us, for allowing us to talk about the foundation and talk about Justin. To go back to one thing that I really want people to know is just that he was a giver. He was multifaceted. He was engineer, musician, and he just loved the people around him and wanted to give back in any way that he could. So that's what we're doing.
And you're doing such a beautiful job. So thank you again for being here today.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after the short break.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
watching Rogers TV St. John's.
And welcome back. Today I have two very special guests with me. I have Lisa Walsh and Kevin Coffin. Lisa and Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
You know, Lisa, I've been a big fan of you and your work, and, you know, being an entrepreneur and a skincare and beauty expert. So, you know, you've been such an inspiration to me, but tell our viewers who may not know you a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I started out in beauty when I was 18 years old. I did hairstylist. It was called Beauty Culture then at the College of the North Atlantic in Carbonear. And then I went on and did my teaching degree and worked with Academy Canada, the Career Academy, College of the North Atlantic, taught aesthetics and hairdressing, and had my own salon and spas for years until I got sick at 36.
Oh, wow.
So I got really sick from the chemicals from hairdressing, and I decided, well, I'm not the only person who's feeling this, so I decided to start a natural skincare line. And we did that in 2009, and I incorporated it in 2011. And on the 4th of January this year, we reached our 16 years in business.
Wow, what a milestone, 16 years. And, you know, you've accomplished so much in that 16 years. And so, you know, what inspired you to really, like, get into this industry?
Well, the industry had me at, you know, playing with Barbies at the age of 12. I've always loved everything beauty. I grew up with all boys.
Yeah.
And maybe that was, and it was sort of like we lived in Beta Verde and we lived on the hill. It was called On the Hill. And I had two brothers and all my cousins, Darren and Fabian, my brother's bearing days, we would all hang out together. And really, yes, there was lots more in our family and lots of girls in the family. But I generally spent a lot of time with boys. And by the age of 12, I thought, I want to go into a female-oriented business.
Yes, of course.
So at 18, that's what I did.
Wow,
Yeah.
and so much have accomplished in that time as well. And of course, you've opened up a new business venture as well, ISC Beauty, is that right?
That's correct. So I decided to do a self-care lounge. And really, that's just a name that I wanted to put on it because I felt that since COVID, and my business was basically home-based, right? So I worked in my basement. I had my lab there. And I started to feel the effects of the loneliness of just being alone. And in the middle of all of that, I was going through menopause, which that's not a pleasant. It's not pleasant.
No,
I won't elaborate, but I didn't like it. So
of course, yes.
Anyway. So I felt like, you know, I needed to create a space that was really pretty, that felt really welcoming, that catered to more than just the outside, that catered to the inside for women like myself. So we're basically a 50-plus oriented business where we look after and pamper and cater to women in the community in Newfoundland and Labrador, people coming in here that just want to visit, to give them a unique feeling of, you know, confidence, power, and that they feel really attractive and comfortable in their own skin.
And Kevin, you are a big, you know, involvement in this business too. So you're the manager of the store, is that right?
Yeah, so I used to have my own little woodworking business where I'd done a collaboration with Lisa, and I used to carry her products, she used to carry mine.
Yeah.
And so that's actually how we got started.
Wow.
And so when I moved to St. John's in the past year, I started working with Lisa. So we do all natural skincare using all Newfoundland botanicals and Newfoundland abstracts and things like that. So everything that is like natural for the skin helps maintain, like, you know, many people my age don't focus on the natural ingredients. We focus more on the marketing.
Right.
And so since I started working with Lisa, I've learned that you got to focus not about the product, it's about what's in the product. So catering to our clients has been very, very welcoming for me in Lisa's business.
And using, like you said, Newfoundland local ingredients.
Oh, I love, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about
gosh.
that. I love that.
The local ingredients, really. I used to die for my own seaweed. You know, Hillary Rodriguez dried my first batch of seaweed. I showed up at his place. They must have thought I was completely insane. Anyway, I showed up with a trunk full of seaweed. in garbage bags that I had harvested myself. I had a license to do that at the time, and it was just the best part of like starting the business. So I love the surrounding sea botanicals, like all the seaweeds are really, really nutritive. They're great for acne, excellent for anti-aging, and really good for plumping up the skin any age, right? So so much seaweed in everything. So we have a lot of seaweed products because that is really an obsession for me. And then we have like the blueberries, partridge berries, cloudberry, bake apple. Newfoundlanders get really upset when I say cloudberry, but I think cloudberry sounds so much nicer than saying bake apple. Nobody knows. When we talk about bake apple, everybody in the mainland thinks we use baked apples in our skincare.
Yes,
so
I can imagine.
Right? It's kind of tough. So all of those ingredients, we went to Memorial University in 2012, and they actually worked with us with a research and development project and helped us figure out which botanicals had the strongest ingredients to add natural preservation to our products. So really the star products are Labrador tea, partridge berry, and bake apple for vitamin C. So they really help brighten, lighten, heal the skin on contact, and very few people are using those ingredients.
And you know, since you've been in this industry for 4 decades now,
my God.
So you are the expert and educator and now an entrepreneur. So are there misconceptions that people may have about, you know, the beauty industry or even skincare that you've seen?
Well, I think over the 40 years, when I first started out in 1993, I tried to get a loan to start my business. And this industry is referred to as the pink collar industry.
Yes.
You know, so basically, you know, we're on the bottom echelon of like, we're at the bottom of the ladder for sure when it comes to financing. Women don't get the financing that they need to adequately start their businesses. So a lot of women just get sick of that, and they end up going into the pink collar industry because they can control their own destiny. And that is definitely what I did. And I really wasn't, you know, set up for really being a corporate. I'm not a corporate, like large company kind of girl. So I basically wanted to do this kind of business so that, you know, I could control my life and have the life I wanted.
Yeah, and that is phenomenal. And clearly you're doing an amazing job with that as well. You know, being a woman and seeing this advocacy is so inspiring. So thank you for that.
Oh my gosh, thanks, Lori. I feel like, you know, women really have to support women. And, you know, even though we've come a long way, and I've been in this industry, like you said, 4 decades, it's still, you know, it's still very much, and I don't really want to insult men, but it's still very much a man's world.
Absolutely.
And you know, I'm very thankful that I have a very supportive partner who believes in everything that I'm doing, and I feel that women really need to step up and help other women as well, and men, like, you know, step up as well, because when somebody wants to start a business, it's very scary, right? And people think, oh, you know, should you be doing this? It's high risk. When I decided to do the self-care lounge, my family, my brother, my older brother said, you know, you really love the beauty industry, and that's when you were the happiest, and I think that's what you should do. And I said, you know, Barry, I think you're right. I think I'm going to go back into that. But it took me a little while to find my way, and it was terrifying. It was a terrifying thing to do at 58 years old. And I think that people just need to know that they just need to start, and they just need to try. And if you can get up every day, make the most of every day, then you can accomplish amazing things. But the end vision is probably not what you might think it would be. But you know, if you are enjoying that journey and you're looking after yourself and you're educating yourself and you're learning something new every day, and sometimes you just have to say to your family or your partner, you know, I'm going to do this anyway. And you have to believe in yourself.
And so, Lisa, are you working on anything new or coming through the pipeline now?
Oh wow! Well, we're always
working on something new.
We've got a few new products. I have a podcast that I'm in the midst of getting started with a friend. I actually taught aesthetics out in Gander, and we met back in 2010. And we have a podcast called 50+ The Lux Life.
Yes.
So that we're a little bit later launching it because, you know, being grandmothers and being busy and being working sort of cuts into your time doing the things you really love with passion projects. And then at work we're doing every Saturday from 11 to 11:30, we offer free seminars.
Oh, wow.
So it could be a free seminar, for example, on 50+ makeup tips. That's coming up on the 18th.
Wow.
Of January. So every Saturday from 11 to 11:30 for the community, we are offering, basically it's more geared to older women, but and when I say that, like 40+, I think that everybody's welcome, of course, but just helping people create little rituals in their life that just make their day better. You know?
Yeah, and that's so phenomenal. And you know, where can people find you and you know, get in contact with you either for the storefront or even for your podcast to listen?
Okay, well, they can find everything on iscbeauty.ca. There's links there to everything. I have my own website, lisawalsh.ca. So I'm working on some digital courses for ladies that aren't in Newfoundland or in St. John's. And of course, the store, right?
Yes. So we have a retail store located at the Village Shopping Center on the second floor next to Fit for Less.
Oh.
So that's where our salon is too, and our little boutique as well.
Amazing.
And that's also where we make our products.
Oh, you make it in-house?
We make all of our products in-house, so that way customers get to see how it's made and, you know, really get to know it's not made in a big manufacturing industry. It's made in a lab in the back of our business.
Wow.
Yeah, he calls it the Glam Lab.
It's our glam lab.
The Glam Lab. I love that.
I mean, we are talking about skincare, so of course it's, you know, it's going to be a glam lab.
Yes. Yeah.
That is so great, and I love that you guys came today. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. And we'll be right back after this short break. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's episode. I want to thank our guests this evening. Of course, if you're looking for things beauty and skincare, go see Lisa and Kevin at the Village Mall storefront. And of course, if you have a little one that's interested in music, please see Aimee and Tom with Justin's Musical Bridge. Until next time, much love.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Where will you win?
The opening tip. Here is Prince.
As we welcome a new era, where will you hear the story?
Right to the rim with a slam dunk.
Catch the highlights. Dive into takes.
It spins.
Where will you be when? Right here. Raptors basketball. Nothing but Sportsnet.
Here we go.
You can't do this, Jacques. It's never been done before.
Mr. Blake.
You can't see down with that thing.
Mr. Blake.
Jacques, what?
They're coming.
Hold them up. Find something. Jacques, I'm telling you for the last time.
Are the Canadians finished? Is Plant coming back on the ice? Come on, give us something, will you?
How many stitches?
Gentlemen, please. Come on. Hey, Tony, you got something to say to the people.
On November 1st, 1959, Jacques Plant of the Montreal Canadiens broke with tradition.
You're a brave man, Mr. Plant, standing up to him like that.
And changed the face of hockey forever.